Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's me, Channing Vane. Welcome to our 2018 Formula 1 preview show here on MTM Esports. Let's get into it, shall we? Obviously the major change to the car this year is the halo protection system. Tested to take the weight of a London double-decker bus, which seems odd as the bus routes are usually blocked off on race days. But that halo protection will provide better protection for their drivers at the cost of some really ugly looks and some minor vision impairments. Interesting decision there. Interesting decision. Now let's see, who are those teams? Who's driving those cars? Who's in whose teams? Who's in whose cars? Who's driving what cars? And what does this year look like? Let's get into it now, shall we? Mercedes, the Silver Arrows. What a team! Such a dominant force in Formula 1 for 4 years, wiping the floor with the competition. Drivers are really struggling to even keep Hamilton in sight. Of course, he came second that time to Rosberg, which seemed to cause friction in the team. Now Mercedes are going with a different lineup, actually sticking with Hamilton, so not a completely different lineup. And Bottas was here last year, of course, so it's the same lineup for Mercedes this year. Let's have a closer look at them drivers now, shall we? Starting off in the only place we can is with last year's champion, Lewis Hamilton. What a great driver. Now 4-time world champion with last season's victory, getting pole after pole after pole, followed by victory after victory after victory after victory after victory after victory. You know he's got his sights set on another title this season, and I bet if he bet he would be betting on him. Next up, Valtteri Bottas. Bottas finds himself in a lucky position. As a youngster, he showed early signs of being an average driver. So we all found it odd when he landed a seat in an incredible Mercedes, and he's been loving life ever since. The Finn finished third in behind Vettel last year. Go on, my son. But his second season with the Silver Arrows, there's going to be a mighty high expectation. Does he have what it takes to push Hamilton that little bit faster? To goalkeeper Hamilton from Vettel and his aggressive driving style? We shall see. We shall see. There was Mercedes. Moving on. Next up, we have last year's runners-up, the one, the only, Ferrari! Ferrari really tried their best last season, putting up a strong title challenge early doors, but they didn't do enough to maintain it, and I'm interested to see what they bring to the table this year. We're hoping they can mount a serious challenge to Mercedes this time round. Driving for them, Kimi Raikkonen. Not unknown to a race win or two in his time, but none last year. Seems to have the reins on as the number 2 driver. Let's hope this season they give him the big boy pants and let him race with Vettel, rather than holding people up and pissing us all off. Next to him we have, as previously mentioned, Sebastian Vettel. Vettel, of course, a previous world champion, he goes on about it, lost his title a while back and has since struggled with the race directors, struggled with the team, struggled with the media and generally struggled in life to keep things together. Let's hope he can turn this around, as I believe inside that angry man there's a great driver. The next team up, Red Bull. There it is, ladies and gents, Red Bull. What a team we have here. And what an incredible looking car. Colour scheme is a one-off, but oh my gosh, buy me one of those. If you look back at previous seasons, you'll see that we're not expecting that much from Red Bull early on. They usually start the year slow, get a little bit slow, and then really kick on towards the end when it's all over. We'll look out for that tactic and see if it works for them this year. There we have Danny Ricciardo. Oh, we love him so. What an entertaining driver. Had a fantastic 2017 in a difficult car. Expect him to be making loads of ballsy overtakes this season. Plus, if he gets on the podium, we all know he's drinking champagne from a shoe. Oh yes, we love it when that happens. Crazy. And there we see him chilling with his teammate Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen earned his team at Red Bull by fighting Danny Kvyat and pushing him into Toro Rosso, ready for his bro Gasly to continue the ass kicking and get him out of Formula 1 for good. Good job, boys. Max Verstappen is the real deal, the real McCoy, the real leather. He's a great young driver in a pacey car. What tricks does he have up his sleeves? Could he cause Hamilton problems this season? Force India! The fabulous Force India finished with a mighty fine 187 points last year. They made a great challenge, finishing best of the rest. Their top speed earned them some high points finishes, but it also earned them some crashes involving teammates. Not good for the team, but great to watch. Again, going for that lovely pink colour. I love modern day racing. We really move with the times. We're not sexist, we've got a pink car. Driving for them, we have the one, the only, Esteban Ocon. Gee, he knows how to race, doesn't he? Esteban Ocon is a driving sensation. He's fast, he's exciting, he's got balls. He drives it like he stole it, while still being an artist of the road. He's my one to watch this season. There is only one man like Ocon. Partnering him, we have Sergio Perez, somehow still got his seat. He's the expert at the long, the one stop, great at conserving and consolidating. However, he had a turbulent time last year where he seemed to keep crashing into his teammate. Stern words will be said if he keeps that tactic up. Why can he not accept that Ocon is just too fast? Next up, we have the Williams. Last year, the Williams had some great top speed, but lacked a bit in the corners. Just the one podium coming by the way of Lance Stroll, showing up the experienced Massa who loses his seat. Good to see the Williams put their balls in their mouth this year by giving the young gents the drive. The Williams could find themselves in pure bliss or in a lot of pain. Who knows? Exciting. Also, look at that lovely car. Another fine example of moving with the times. Half black, half white, showing how racist we're not here at F1. Wonderful car. Expect to see it flying down the straights and struggling through those corners. First up, for the Williams, as previously mentioned, Lance Stroll. Stroll had to endure a life-threatening injury growing up after being bitten at the age of 5 by a driving bug. What a story. Sounds dangerous. Despite the incident, he survived to tell the tale and land a seat in Formula 1 last season, where he seemed to grow in confidence as the season progressed. Let's see if that continues, or if he's peaked at the grand age of 20. Are his best years behind him? We shall see. Sorokin, the token Russian. We've had Danny Kvyat, now we've got Sorokin. Can he give Putin the Formula 1 hero he desperately craves? He's had a tough battle for his seat this season. Some say he paid his way into his seat, controversial. Some say he won it in an arm wrestle, who knows? Not much Formula 1 experience, but came third in Formula 2 last season, behind champion Gasly. Rumours suggest Sorokin was always the giver and Gasly was always the taker back in the Formula 2 last season. Let's see how that driver relationship pans out this year, and let's not forget Sorokin's had a little play with Leclerc before too. Ooh, Renault! What a fucking nice car! That is beautiful, wonderful! If you could win a title on looks, this car is hands down winner! But you can't, so Renault have no chance. Let's have a look at their drivers, shall we? First up, Nicky Hulkenberg. Good driver. Never really done great, but never been in a great car. Seems like he may have topped his potential, happy with the steady points over the risky moves. Can he change that tactic this year with so many inexperienced drivers on the track? Will he go for it? Can he grow them balls a little bit bigger and take them corners a little bit faster and really get into the race? I don't think so. Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz finished with 54 points last year. Not a bad return in a fairly shit car. Carlos Sainz has been around Formula 1 longer than a crocodile's dick. Never really done much, but at least this season he'll look cool driving that beautiful car. My word. Renault. Feeder team Toro Rosso. Toro Rosso just 53 points last year. Let's note that's one less than Carlos Crocodile Dick Sainz on his own. Two young drivers joining the ranks of this Red Bull feeder team. Why, we ask, will we see future moves that give all the team seats a little jiggle? Who knows? You know, I aim to be in the know and let you know before the people in the know actually know. Drivers up. There he is, Pierre Gasly. Had a couple of outings last season and didn't do too much, but has proven talent, wiping the floor to win the Formula 2 title last year, beating Sorokin in the process. Should be an interesting one to watch this season. Next to him we have Brandon Hartley. Brandon is American. There we go. There is Haas. Who's he? How's he still got to drive? Haas, of course, the team Haas. I'm joking. But the American unit seems to be lacking power. That's right, the Americans lacking power. What is going on there? You're a disgrace to your flag, a disgrace to your country. Find that power and shove it in there. Let's see this thing really go. However, taking a look at their drivers, maybe not. First up, driving for Team Haas, we have Roman Grosjean. He's been around the block a bit. Exciting to watch as he's prone to a crash. Always provides us fans with tension, as he really does have the ability to destroy any driver's race at any moment in time. What an interesting driver to have on the grid. Next to him in the Haas we have Kevin Magnussen. Deserves another year after somehow getting that shit car to 7th position last year in Azerbaijan. Fantastic. That's it for Haas. Let's move on now, quickly. McLaren! There's been a lot of noise coming from the McLaren garage during the off-season, and it's not just swear words about engines. Would be nice to see the comeback from last year's difficulties and challenge for podiums. Good drivers, good team, good garage, good ethos, great culture. McLaren actually sticking with drivers, which is probably a good idea after none of them really got a chance to finish the race last year. So we have driving for McLaren, Fernando Alonso! What a driver! Previous champion, possibly the best round-haul driver on the planet. Obviously hampered by car problems over the last few years and competing in different formats this season. Will he be able to catch the top teams, or will these distractions lead to misery? Either way, as long as he can be bothered to finish the race, we'll know McLaren's making progress on last season's poor efforts. Partnering him we have Stoffel van Dorn. Only 13 points last year, maybe not his own fault, so let's have a look at him more if he can join in the race this year in what is rumoured to be a very quick car. Can he handle the speed? We don't know, but we are soon to find out. Yes, McLaren. And last but not least, well actually very least last and lowest of all, apart from Manor, who are now dead. Moment silence. Done. Sauber picked up 5 points last year. Yes, you heard that right. A measly 5 points. What a shambles. Everyone in that picture should be ashamed. So here it is. Reliable, I guess. Average. My word, it looks great from behind with that Alfa Romeo paintwork. Shame nobody is going to be behind them until about 30 laps into the race, where the front markers will catch them up, and then there's nothing but blue flags as cars lap them, leaving them in the dust like the heap of junk they've bought over the last few seasons. Let's hope for a better temp this year, shall we? And driving for them, as we need to go into it, apparently, Marcus Ericsson! No points last season, but just take a look at him. What a fucking handsome chap. I'm sure a beautiful man like that is upset about the great goal situation this year, and I'm worried for the great looking men like Marcus Ericsson who are missing out on that part of the Formula 1 attraction. Danny Ricciardo's statement on the matter is, fast cars and fast women. That's what it's all about. I hear you, Danny. I hear you. Little look at last year's champion there with the ladies. And he looks jealous. Leclerc, raised in the great streets of Monaco, raised on a diet of caviar, carts and cars. He grew a hunger for racing, and he's eaten up the GP3 and GP2 competition over the last 2 years to gain his place in Formula 1, even if it is for a shit team. Let's see if he can have his cake and eat it this season, as getting more than 1 point would be the cherry on top on what looks set to be another turbulent year for Sauber. So there we have it, ladies and gents. Those are your teams. Those are your drivers. Thanks for listening to me, Turning Vane on MTM Esports. I look forward to seeing you after the first race in sunny Melbourne, Australia. We'll be going through the news, the reviews, and all of the other cues in our highlights show. Thank you, but for now, bye.